Well, Donald Trump has warned that China's artificial intelligence chatbot, DeepSeek, should be a wake-up call for the US AI industry. The low-cost Chinese startup has shaken rivals, wiping billions of dollars off their value since its launch. Well, the US chip designer NVIDIA lost nearly £500 billion in market value, with shares falling 17% by close of play on Monday. It's one of the biggest one-day losses in US history. Well, DeepSeek's developers claim their model only cost $4.5 million to build, whereas ChatGPT maker OpenAI has been hemorrhaging money, spending £4 billion just last year. And surprisingly, this has got the president's attention.
The release of DeepSeek AI from a Chinese company should be a wake-up call for our industries that we need to be laser-focused on competing to win, because we have the greatest scientists in the world. Even Chinese leadership told me that. They said, you have the most brilliant scientists in the world in Seattle and various places. But Silicon Valley, they said, there's nobody like those people. This is very unusual when you hear a DeepSeek, when you hear somebody come up with something. We always have the ideas. We're always first.
Well, our Asia correspondent Nicole Johnston has more.
The company behind it, the Chinese company, is called High Flyer. And if the information that they're providing to the world is true, it is certainly a moment for China, because what they're saying is that they've managed to build this artificial intelligence model in only a few months for less than $6 million and with no advanced semiconductor chips. So that is really quite something, because as we know, in the United States, they are spending billions of dollars. It's taking them years to do it. They're talking about building vast data centers, $500 billion Donald Trump spoke about last week, and now it looks as though China is doing it for a fraction of the cost. Now, what has happened is that Chinese companies, by the sounds of it, are managing to innovate their way around all of these restrictions on the export of advanced semiconductor chips that were imposed on China by the Biden administration. And if all of this is really happening, it certainly does appear to change the game and level the playing field. It means that China has put out a serious challenge to the United States. We know that China wants to rival the United States, dominate the world when it comes to advanced artificial intelligence, and right now it looks as though they are very close to doing that.
That's Nicole Johnston reporting from Beijing. Our science and technology editor, Tom Clarke, has a bit more.
Up until DeepSeek came out with this much more efficient appearing model, the assumption was to get better AI, you just needed to build more and more computing hardware, this scaling law of AI, and the US industry is kind of wedded to that. What did that mean for consumers? It meant, as we got offered more and more exotic sort of types of AI that could do more powerful things, the costs were going to be really high. Some people were suggesting that the ultimate versions of GPT, for example, might be, $1,000 a query. How are those costs going to be managed, given all the computing power and the infrastructure you need to build? Well, this suggests that you might not need to build models quite that sophisticated to do really useful tasks. In addition, unlike some of the big AI leaders in the US, like OpenAI, the DeepSeek's model is open source. That means it is much more accessible to developers to modify and adapt for the products they want to offer. Because it can run much more efficiently on less compute, you might also have versions of these models, and Apple and others have been looking into this too. It's not exclusively Chinese efficiency here. It can run on a device, your home computer, possibly even your phone, could do a lot of the handling of those queries itself. A small version of the model could run on it. So it's a potential big shake-up. It was the efficiency a lot of people were expecting to see. I think it was just a sudden big leap and a big wake-up call for the way America was going about it. Ultimately, though, I think it was necessary, and it's going to shake up the AI industry in America. They're going to try and figure out what the Chinese have done here, how to emulate that kind of efficiency. But I think it would be a bit wrong to suggest that just because this is a really competitive model done with much less compute, this is game over for those big plans to roll out very, very powerful AI systems in the US.